Shall we begin?
This is Live Speak with your hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. We're bringing you tech news, Kickstarter investment strategies, and anything else we feel like we need to discuss with you. Stick around, it's going to be a great show
On Live Speak Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Live Speak. We are broadcasting to the entire world through Spreaker.com and on the Midwest side of the world through IndianaTalks.com. Justin is out of town on vacation. I think he's in the mountains or doing something. I don't really know. But I will be your host today, Alan Quant from The Digital Craft. And with me, we have longtime friend and listener John Rainey, all the way from Ireland.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
John. Hey. How are things over there? You said they're a little warm today?
Yeah, it's been a heat wave here at the moment, so we're not really used to it. But, yeah, we're struggling, surviving, as they say.
Sounds good. We have an exciting guest that John actually pulled together. We have Tabby Callaghan from the X Factor fame, X Factor UK. Was that season 1, I think?
Season 1, yeah, 2004.
And he was the final. He was one of the finalists.
He finished third place. Yeah, he was he should have won it if right was right, but political voting and what have you. But anyways, he should have won Series 1. But yeah, he was easily the best contestant on it. But he came third.
A finalist is finalist, and he got to do some pretty cool stuff afterwards too, right?
Well, what he actually made some pretty good connections through the show. He was mentored by Sharon Osbourne, and he actually became quite good friends with Ozzy Osbourne and his production team. Spent a lot of time in the Osbourne house, and he's quite friendly with. He met the likes of Rod Stewart and people like that too. So, he's a real rocker. He wouldn't be the type of thing you'd expect to get from your X Factor type show, but he's definitely original. He wouldn't be the huge cover version guy. A lot of his stuff is his own. He writes his own music. He writes his own lyrics.
Yeah,
So,
and you had a chance to sit down and have a drink with him the other day, and he kind of talked to you about that kind of stuff, didn't he?
yeah, he's he has a YouTube channel as well, and he posts on it quite regular. Actually, he's couple of videos that he puts up himself playing kind of little riffs, and he did a Johnny Cash song. He's quite a big fan of Johnny Cash as well, which is one of the few cover versions that he's actually done. But he released a couple of singles in the UK after that particular single in the UK after X Factor. It did quite well, but he decided then that he wanted to go on his own direction, that he didn't want to be pigeonholed as an X Factor type artist, so he wanted to be original and do his own stuff. So he had a couple of singles here in Ireland, but he hasn't done anything much in the UK, even though he has quite a large following in the UK, because he's just getting ready. As far as I'm aware, he's getting ready to go back over and tour over there. But he's put a new band together now. He hasn't got the band that he had at the time of X Factor, but he has a new band put together there now, and they're only just kind of auditioning. Not so much auditioning, I mean practicing just to get ready for the tour. So
Cool.
That's pretty much where he is at the moment.
And at the moment, he's actually playing a show.
He's actually playing on his own tonight. The band is really only for touring, but he's playing locally tonight because we have a couple of festivals on here in Sligo at the moment. So he was booked to do that, and he was supposed to be playing like 3 hours ago at 7 o'clock our time here. It's now 10 o'clock, and it got bumped back to 9. So that's the reason we're going to kind of get him in the middle of his set. He's agreed to come on, kind of take a break and come on. So hopefully 10:30 he should be ready to come on.
Sounds good. Well, until then, we're going to do a little bit of tech news here. Our tech news is kind of a hodgepodge of things that John and Justin and I have found over the week. First of which is Facebook's graph search. I'll tell you what I think about it at first, and then I'll see what you think, John. I think the search itself is cool. I mean, all the functionality and all that stuff is great. I don't like where they put it. I don't know if has that change hit the UK yet, or
it's only just started to come in. It has. I don't think it's officially been rolled out here yet. It's about to be, but certainly I've seen the posts about it. You know, telling you to whatever you don't want seen, basically, make it private. You know, but yeah, I don't think it's actually set up here yet.
Yeah, you'd notice it right away. It's they kind of messed with the UI on the header of the site.
Yeah.
Which if they didn't already have a search bar there, it wouldn't bother me too much. But you know, I don't understand why they stretched it all the way across and then moved our other stuff over to the right. But
nothing Facebook does surprises me at this stage. It
Right.
change. You shouldn't change a winning formula. But no, all that's on my Facebook page at the moment is like a little lock, and it's just kind of privacy settings. There's nothing up. I know it's supposed to be rolled out in the UK. I think it's next week.
yeah,
So we'd come under that kind of area, you know.
so some of the stuff we can do on there looks like kind of asking questions, things like that, finding out what our friends like.
Yeah.
What else they got on there?
Places that you would have visited, or you know, you can get kind of hotels and restaurants that your friends would have visited. Or friends of friends, even, I think, is another thing that it extends to. So you can actually see people that you aren't even friends with. You can see what they've done and where they've been.
That's kind
You can kind of tell where the trend and how I feel about it just by my tone, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, my wife's one of those people that likes to do I can't even check-in everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and then I get included in that, and so I guess everybody's going to know where I've been, and I guess I don't really care, but it's still kind of creepy.
Well, I'm very predictable where I check in. I usually just check in if I'm kind of in my client's business premises, or if I go to a local football match or something like that. That's usually the only places that I check in from, so I'm not going to cause too much of a stir from there. They're not going to get too much information from me on that sense.
Now, on our end, though, I mean, I guess it's kind of neat. You can, maybe you could have already done this. I don't know, but go through and look at all the stuff that you have done, and then, you know, remember where that restaurant was that you were at, you know, last year, you know, things like that. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool.
Well, I suppose I haven't really been anywhere too exotic in the last 2 years, so my check-ins will be pretty local. So, you know, it's not like I've been to the Taj Mahal or anywhere like that. I wonder, do they have Wi-Fi there, actually?
They have Wi-Fi. Do you say they want? If you wonder if they do, or they do?
In the Taj Mahal, I'm wondering if they did.
I'm sure they do. Yeah, well, and a lot of, like we were talking earlier, a couple days ago, that everything over there for you guys is kind of local in general, whereas over here, like just Justin and I's distance is like a 4-day drive.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get my head around that, because I can basically travel the country in about 4 hours.
That is wild.
From top to bottom. You know,
I could attempt that.
Pardon?
I could attempt that, but I think the authorities might come after me.
Yeah, they'd probably be involved in some kind of hijacking or something, would it?
Now, there's also, I guess, a way for you to stop Facebook's graph search from doing certain things. Like, looks like people are really concerned about like old photos and old, because you got to really think about all the things you've done.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe you did some stupid things, you know, 4 years ago that you never would have posted on there, you know, now that stuff might come up in people's searches. Yeah.
And the scary thing about that is I went through my Facebook profile yesterday, and I was just having a look and see what things were public and what things were private. And it's amazing how much of the stuff is actually public. And the worrying thing about that is, say, for example, if you were going for a job interview or something like that, it's actually become quite commonplace over here for companies to actually check you out on Facebook. So Facebook could be the reason behind you not getting your job.
Oh, that's very common over here.
Yeah.
I do that with when I had my business. I always checked Facebook. I wanted to know, you know, if I see this person, every shot of them is at a bar drunk, and doing stuff that might be, I might have fun doing, but it may not be the people that I want working with me. But yeah, you got to be really careful with that stuff. And I guess if people can search back, I mean, it's bad enough if you can just see what's going on right now.
Yeah.
If you're doing dumb things now, but you look at things like Paula Deen and that thing that's going on with her. I don't know if you followed any of that, and something she did, I think decades ago, has come back to haunt her. I didn't hear about that thing. Oh, we'll keep that one off the radio. That gets too much into political jargon. Yeah. But basically something she said that was offensive got her pretty much destroyed her career in a matter of days. Right. So imagine, people being able to search your Facebook and things like that. That's bad. I think I do remember actually what you're talking about now. It does actually have to come into the book. We'll not go into any detail, as to say. Yes. We try to keep those topics off of here. But it's amazing even going through, as I said, I went through my Facebook profile because it's only kind of been rolled out over here and you're kind of getting messages to say, have you checked your privacy settings or whatever? And, even going through some of the photographs that you would have been tagged in, and, there's a lot of stuff that has kind of escaped me that I didn't even realize that I had been tagged in, Yeah. I spent quite a bit of time yesterday going through and tagging myself and stuff. Yeah, the tagging stuff really gets me. I'll see some photos in there that I didn't even know existed, Yeah. And like, oh man, I don't want those up there. Yeah. I'm reading here in an article that users in the UK, in order to get, this is strange, but in order to get their settings to be more private, they need to change their settings to US. Yeah, you have to change your to US English, which it's kind of a bit odd, all right, but. Yeah, that's how they've set it up. So, as I said, I've given up questioning the likes of Microsoft and Facebook and Google at this stage. Can't understand why they change a winning formula, but they know best, as they say. They should. Hopefully, they don't. Yeah, again, the only thing I really have a beef with is the change to the interface. Those are the kind of changes that MySpace started making around the time of their demise that really drove people away. You had no idea where things were every time you logged in, and but I don't know if anybody else notices this, but I notice on Sundays usually Facebook starts acting strange. You'll a lot of times see them testing new features on Sundays. So you might see like when they were trying to roll out the ability to reply to comments, that started popping up on Sunday, and then it disappeared again, and then the next Sunday after that it showed up again, and little things like that. So I've actually seen this graph search bar. I saw it it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was up for about 3 hours, and then it disappeared again. So. I had noticed that about the Sunday too. Whatever it is, they seem to think that it's kind of the optimum testing time. Yeah. They mustn't think too many people are on it. But there was one thing I noticed about Facebook recently. It's about 2 months back. I had an advertisement on the left-hand side of my Facebook page for about 2 months, and it was bugging me. And I meant to do something about it more times, and when I actually looked into it, it turned out to be malware that had installed itself. Really? Yeah, as an add-on. I was using Firefox. It would always show up in Firefox. It would never show up in Google Chrome. So I can't even remember what it was now at this stage. I should have written it down, but I had to go in and basically block the thing from having access. And as soon as I did that, it disappeared. But I was blaming Facebook for it, so Facebook were getting the blame for something that wasn't even their fault, Yeah, that happens. But yeah, so if you're in the UK, change your settings to US, and also just take a look at your settings anyways. You probably have no idea what you're actually sharing out there if you haven't. Yeah. I would be a big advocate of not putting a huge amount of information on Facebook anyway, but it seems to be the common thing that people have to post everything. Yeah, definitely. If you're doing business and things like that on there, sometimes you have to put stuff on there that you wouldn't normally put on there, and then sometimes there's stuff that you definitely don't want to put on there that the common user would put on there. And but yeah, there's definitely some rules to that. But certainly a bit of common sense should prevail too. I would hope. Yeah. Another thing, we got Hulu and Time Warner cable is looking at potentially striking a deal to create a streaming service to compete with Netflix. John, do you have Netflix?
I don't have it personally, and the only reason I don't have it is because I have a sports package through Sky, and it includes the movie channel. So that's kind of really what I use. I'm not I don't really watch a huge amount of television anyway, so it would be kind of pointless for me. But I can see the reasoning and the logic behind it, for sure, I know Netflix, quite a lot of my friends and use it, You can even see it on my Facebook page that you get notifications that such a person has just watched such a thing on Netflix. So.
Yeah, that's another thing to make sure you check on when you're on Netflix. Make sure you don't check that box that says let people know what depending on what it is you're watching on there. Especially in family, we all share an account, so we have Netflix here, and my wife started it, so it's under her name, and but our kids use it and we use it, and they're limited to the kids version of it. But but then if we were not that I am, but if depending on what I wanted to watch in the later hours, I don't know if I wanted to show
Better
up.
be careful where this is going.
Right, exactly. But I also don't need my friends knowing that I watched VeggieTales 30 times in a row either, or whatever it is my kids are watching. And but it's funny though, because I don't. They've got a neat feature on there that'll kind of compile a list of shows or movies that you probably have interest in based on the things you've watched.
Yeah.
But because my kids abuse this thing, I don't. It's never. Everything is it's all Nickelodeon stuff, and it's never anything I want to watch. But
sure, there's plenty of Dora the Explorer and stuff like that.
Exactly. And but I've tried Hulu because Hulu seems to be a little more towards kind of what's more current on TV, things like that. But I gave that a try. I think they're kind of in the same price range as Netflix, and they've got like a 14-day trial or something. And I wanted to see if they had more. I really get into the crime documentary shows and stuff, and I've pretty much watched all the ones on Netflix, and I was going to see if they had any more. They had more of a selection of shows, but they seemed to only have like 2 or 3 episodes of each show. So it wasn't a really good selection. Netflix, you can waste an entire day watching 4 seasons of one show.
Yeah, that's another reason that I kind of avoid them, because if I turn on the television here, there's times I don't get any work done. So. And I have a television in my office, so that's kind of where if I was watching anything, I'd be watching it here. So work goes straight out the window at that stage.
Right. But now, hopefully, though, if they're going to work with a cable company, they can get more shows on there, and you don't have to wait. Hopefully, you can start seeing more the actual episodes that are airing, because I think on Hulu you have to wait like 8 days after an episode is aired before they'll show it and things like that. And I think it says as well that Netflix kind of do produce a lot of their own shows that you wouldn't see anywhere else as well. So I think that's kind of their appeal, that they're looking to be kind of unique in the sense that anything you see on Netflix, or certain things you see on Netflix, you won't see on anywhere else. That's true too. Yeah, they've got some pretty neat. I think they have about 3 or 4 shows on there, and I've watched I think 3 of them, 3 of the 4.
Yeah,
and they're really good. I mean, they're really well produced, and they don't have any real rules as far as content. So most of them are not kid friendly, but they don't have any of the rules that regular TV has, and but they also have a different formula, and that is they release an entire season at once. Yeah, and that's kind of cool. Although you can like I said earlier, I can watch that entire season in one day, and then I have no idea. I'm going to wait another year until it comes out. But sometimes if I get sucked into a TV series, then just waiting that extra week to see the next show is annoying. But
yeah. Well, I'm guilty of that too, because I didn't watch the new series of the Borgia this time round. I purposely held back because I knew there was going to be 10 series of it, 10 episodes of it. So she watched 10 of them over the space of 2 days. So, I just said I can be guilty of that too.
Yeah, I know Netflix just put one out, but it's like it's almost like a women's version of Oz. Excuse me, the old HBO show. And I've been getting sucked into that one. Excuse me. I need to get an intern to get me some water. I think Justin took the intern with him.
Do I qualify for one for this evening, or? It's probably a bit late to do interviews at this stage, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a 7-year-old that'd happily do it, I'm sure.
True. But yeah, that's that. And I'm going to get some water, and we're going to do a quick commercial break.
Cool.
Getting an amazing education is a must, but going to classes and listening to boring teachers can be very painful and expensive. Luckily, we have the internet, but it is so hard to find courses that are high quality, cheap, and easily accessible. Not anymore, thanks to Udemy. Udemy is the online academy for you. At Udemy, you can find hundreds of great courses from world-class instructors. You can learn stuff like how to create awesome demo videos cheaply, how to program in Python, Ruby, or HTML, how to start your own company, even how to wiggle your feet to the rhythm of salsa. But what if you want to teach others what you know? No problem. Udemy makes it super easy to create your own course in a few steps. Just create an account for free, give your course a name, upload all your content in any format, video, audio, PowerPoint, Word, PDF, publish it, and voila! It's now accessible to anyone, at any time, all over the world. You can even set a price for your course so you can make some money. Learn anything, teach anything at Udemy, the Academy of You.
And there we go. I got some water, and I think the cough is gone. We're going to move into the WTF news, which I think I had nothing to do with this one this time. Did you put the stuff in here, or is this all Justin?
Some of it I'm responsible for, yes. Certainly the headphones is.
This is very interesting. I'm going to play the first about a minute of this YouTube clip of this guy explaining his headphone implants. The article we're looking at reads, "Man implants magnetic headphones becomes music cyborg." Did you read this whole article?
I did, yes, yeah. He's a special kind of a guy.
He is. Even the photo of him says it all.
The video is quite interesting, especially the magnet bit.
Yeah, when he starts talking about his finger, that's
yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and play that really quick here.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Rich Lee. I recently got magnets implanted in my ears, so I'm going to make speakers out of it. So it goes like this. You can stick magnets into your ears, get a coil and an amplifier, stick the coil around your neck. You got to have a backup supply of batteries like this, but once the coil's on your neck, you can plug a jack into your phone. It's amplified, right? Instead of sending it through earbuds like it would, with headphones or whatever, it sends it into the coil. So what does that do? That creates a magnetic field that causes the magnets in my ears to create sound, which is a trip. I've also got this magnet implanted in my finger, and I find that when I stick my finger into my ear and the coil's going, I can hear music coming out of my fingertips, which is a crazy experience. Now,
okay, so crazy experience.
Music from my fingertips, huh?
Yeah. So if I understand this correctly, one, he's got these things implanted in his ear, the magnets, and in order to get any sound, he has to have this coil around his neck and put his finger in his ear.
I don't think putting the finger in the ear is necessary, but he can certainly. I'm from what I can read of it, he can do both. But I think the coil is the necessary part. He has to have that in order for it to work.
So he's basically still has to have something in his ear and something attached to him in one way or another.
Well, I think he can do it either way. He can either put his finger in his ear and he can hear it because he has a magnet stuck in the top of his
right, yeah,
finger.
But he still has to have the magnets, the original magnets in there. So he hasn't necessarily done anything different than earbuds or wireless earbuds, I guess.
Yeah, basically they're internal rather than external. But I'll tell you one thing. He'd want to have some kind of a note or something in his pocket that, God forbid, he ever had to go for a CT scan or something like that. Because
Right.
can you imagine? You know,
no.
or even through a scanner at an airport or something like that. I'm sure he has to have a great time with him in the airports, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, explaining that one's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Even playing this video is not going to help him. I didn't even actually watch the rest of it. I stopped at the finger part when I realized that, because I was thinking he actually had to stick his finger in his ear to get sound. But
but he shows like there's a battery and everything. I think it's very, very. To be honest with you, I can't see them moving away from the old earbuds. I can't really see it catching on, you know. Plus that thing hanging around your neck as well. You wouldn't want you could end up hanging yourself with it.
Right. And it's just another it's an accessory that's not much different than what you're already using. If you can pull it off, keeping the phone in the pocket and maybe the implant in the ear, without the strange coil around his neck.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I might wait until Google does something with a little more options than just playing music. And
you would kind of hope that the magnets wouldn't reverse polarity and decide to become attracted to each other. There wouldn't be a lot of resistance, I'm sure, between the two of them if it did happen.
Oh, that'd be an interesting sight to see.
I'm surprised that's not up on Kickstarter, actually.
I was going to mention that. That should have been up on it could have been up on our list if he did. Now I'm picturing the magnets.
I'm just looking actually on my page here. The advertisement, Google Ads, is up on top of it as an advertisement for fridge magnets.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this guy. I mean, even if those magnets go together, it'd almost be kind of cyborg-like. His head, he'd probably just kind of head dip down like a robot, and he'd be done for. That'd be the end of it.
Yeah.
That's the end of Rich Lee.
Is that his name? Is it? I think that's his name.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to learn more about that, anybody, see if we can get Justin to try those out.
Somehow I don't think there'd be too many takers for guinea pigs for it now.
No, I don't see that.
I'd love to know where he got it done. I think he did it himself, actually.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah.
And they said he did it himself, but people don't recommend that, which, again, that common sense thing comes in.
Yeah.
I can't get that image out of my head of those things going together and killing whatever's in there, if there is anything in there. But
I'd say there wouldn't be a huge mile now. Nope.
Well, yeah, we're going to move on to the next WTF news. At the same time, though, we're getting close to Tabby being available, so whenever we see him get online here, we'll switch over to him. But this next one, is this your doing too?
This would be the naked woman distracts man while he's robbed.
Yeah.
Would that be it? Yeah, that would be me. You should nearly know my track at this stage.
You want to tell us about this one?
Basically, it was from what I haven't got it open here in front of me, but from what I can remember, there was a couple who called to a man's house and asked if they could use his pool. And while they were there, the guy excused himself, said he wanted to use the toilet, and his partner decided she was going to disrobe and swim in the pool. And of course, this kept the owner of the house occupied, while the other guy went in and robbed the house.
That's great.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm reading here. His name's Stephen Amaral, and he's 54, and he's a former sheriff's deputy.
Yeah.
And he actually, when he watched the woman for about 20 minutes, and then offered her a towel and invited her to church, and she declined.
I wonder why it took him 20 minutes for him to invite her to church.
Yeah, those two aren't going together very well here. But then, it wasn't until after they left that he realized that they took his old service revolver, jewelry, and some prescription drugs.
Yeah.
So
And I went and got her a towel, and she dried off, and all of a sudden she was soaking wet again. The former deputy told Nashville, WKRN TV. That's not something that you would publicly. I wouldn't even report that if it was me.
No, not at all. No, and he's got jewelry, so I'm wondering if he's married or now he's in trouble if he is.
I wonder would that coil around, would that class as jewelry might have been the same guy.
It could have been. It could have been. I just realized we got Tabby's available, so we're gonna hop over and we're gonna play one of Tabby's tracks. This song is called Manic Star. While we get him on the line.
Cool.
And welcome back, everybody. This is Live Speak. We've got Tabby on the line. We just played his track, Manic Star. Tabby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. How are you? How's everybody there?
We're doing good here in Indiana. John,
That's
I
great,
guess
man.
you're in the same spot, so I guess Tabby's warm too.
Yeah, I'm not too far from you, Tabby, so.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Thanks for the pint, by the way, John.
Not at all. You're welcome. You're welcome. That class is payment now, I think.
Oh, I know, bribery. Well, we all know that's very prevalent here in Ireland, anyway. But you should have put the pint in a brown envelope.
What we've actually done, Tabby, is we've kind of led into it. We mentioned earlier on just kind of a bit of background about you.
Yeah.
And about the fact that you were a contestant on the very first series of the X Factor in the UK.
That's right.
I'm gonna let Alan has a couple of questions he wants to ask you, so I'll let Alan. Sure, we'll go between the two of us.
Fire away, Alan. No bother.
Alrighty. So you're playing a show right now. Actually, you're in the middle of a.
I'm in the middle of a show. Yeah, just on a break at the moment.
Awesome. Over at the Village.
The Village. That's right. Yeah, the Village here in Sligo, in Ireland.
Cool. And going well. Is it picking up now?
Going really well. Listen, any time that my T-shirt is soaked in sweat, that's a good sign. And right now, if anybody stood beside me, I as we say in Ireland here, I stink them out of it.
Nice. Awesome. So then on X Factor, I watched the first audition where you were with your group. And,
yeah.
So I'm sure it was unnerving, probably in general, just to be. I mean, you've been a musician for a long time.
Yeah, I've played guitar since I was 6. I got my first guitar, and But if you notice on the edits of those things, programs like that, you'll notice that they kind of made it look like I just left my band and went out, and but it wasn't like that at all, actually, because there was a good couple of hours between basically me finding out that they had wanted me to go in ahead, and then me speaking with the lads and going over it with them, and we all decided, well, look, it's I might as well go for it and see what happens. I didn't expect to go as far as I did. I thought maybe I might get to meet Sharon, give her a demo of my stuff. Who knows? I didn't expect to go all the way. And I mean, you have to remember too, at the time, this was the very first one, and nobody knew what kind of a show it was going to be. We didn't expect to have. We thought it was for bands and stuff. And when we arrived in, there were like no musical instruments. Of course, I nearly died when they said that to me. I couldn't believe it. So we had to change our whole plan when we went in, and we ended up doing a kind of a song. It's a bit cringy now when I look back on it, because you're kind of like standing there, and you could totally tell I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm there. I'm kind of shaking my fingers or something.
Yeah. Especially when you're used to having a guitar, that's kind of your, as you say, I wouldn't say your crutch, but certainly when you're performing, you get used to having it with you.
Oh, of course. Like you'll be, I mean, you kind of, it's not that you hide behind it, but it's your anchor when you're on stage, just when you're used to it, But It was fine. We went in and we just got on with it, and nervous is not the word, because of course these type of environments, they're not musical environments, they're television environments, and it's a totally different animal,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I mean, you've done this a lot, as far as playing on stage and things like that, and I've done that too, but being in a room like that has got to just be a weird cold feeling.
Yeah. We have an expression here in Ireland. I kind of felt like a fart in a spacesuit. Very, very uncomfortable, and I didn't kind of know what to kind of do with myself. And we went in and did it, and the next thing I know, I got a call, and I mean, it was a crazy experience. It was a crazy time at that point, because everything, as soon as I walked out that door of that audition, kind of everything changed, overnight, literally,
Oh yeah, I imagine. But so everybody else was very supportive of the idea to go back in there and
Oh yeah, of course, because they knew, like, look, if I went on ahead and something good happened to me, if something good happened with it, the lads would be around playing with me and stuff. So, and that's what happened, I mean, people thought that I dumped them. I couldn't get rid of them. I was playing with them up until probably 5 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, clever editing.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in the edit.
Nice.
And are you still in touch with anybody from the show, Tabby? Like, I know
I talked to all of them. Yeah. Well, I talked to one of the contestants that I was on was Rowetta, and me and her really clicked because we'd come from a musical background. She played with, she was a singer with the Happy Mondays, which are an alternative kind of a band from Britain. Like, they're a very big band, And so the split second we met, we just hit it off. I knew instantly, like, I really liked this girl because she was nuts. She was a lot more rock and roll than I was, I'll tell you that. She was crazy at that time.
But she was kind of, she wasn't allowed to express. I think you had probably more expression than she was allowed to have, because you got to kind of pretty much be yourself on it.
Yeah, well, I did to a point, you know. Like, the thing about it is, anytime you do a show like that, you're always going to get slightly homogenized. You know, you're going to get slightly kind of scaled down and scaled back. And, hi, Johnny, how are things? Are you well? You're going to get kind of, just slightly changed for television. But I pushed it as far as I could. I know this, that I was the first person ever to actually be able to go on and play an electric guitar on it and to push it that way, you know, and a lot more acts came out after that doing that, you know. Yeah. Which I think it was the first anyway to do it at the time, but I understand now it's huge over there too, right?
Yeah, we eat that stuff up.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it was let's put it this way, okay? When I did that show, I was down playing in every dump with a plug socket, you know, basically trying to push my band, living in the back of a transit van. And then overnight, it's amazing, like the power of TV, because overnight then, suddenly, the next thing I know, I'm on a plane to LA, being flown over by Sharon, and that's before I was even picked for the show.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's amazing how quick. Like, it seemed all of a sudden you were talking to Rod Stewart, and you were over in the Osbournes. I think you went over and you spent a couple of weeks over in the house.
Well, I lived with them for about a year after, because Sharon was kind of supposedly managing me, you know, for a year after the show and that, you know.
And the guitar, Ozzy bought you a guitar for Christmas, was it?
He did, and you know what? This sounds terrible, but I never play it, and the reason I don't play it is it's kind of really 1980s looking.
And Flying V, isn't it? I think it's a Flying V. Is that what you call it?
It's not a Flying V. It's a Randy Rhoads Jackson. But the back of it, if I moved back onto somebody, I could probably debowl them with the edge that's on this big sharp edge. But I'm more of a Telecaster player anyway, you know. So, but I keep it safe, and it's a nice keepsake, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And but as I said, I'm sure you have it mounted on your wall at this stage, have you?
No, I just have it, you know, it's just in amongst my other children, my other guitars, in my little studio in my house, and I just kind of keep it there, and I take it out every now and then, but, you know, I'm very into chicken picking, so I use a Telecaster a lot, because I love that kind of sound, you know.
Very cool. So then I saw the video of Sweet Child of Mine, and I thought I read somewhere that you were only allowed to play during the choruses.
Yeah,
of the show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's actually true.
How did that feel?
It was really weird. And, you know, I got a lot of flack off people. People thought that I couldn't even play the guitar, you know. A lot of that kind of stuff, like, because it kind of looked a bit odd, the way I was just coming in for solos and choruses and things, which kind of freaked me out a bit, to be honest. But, you know, that was kind of part of the excitement, too, at the time, because I was kind of like, it was all new territory to me, and I was just kind of surviving on my feet. I had to think on my feet, you know.
Yeah, it's cool that you can actually play, and you are an accomplished musician.
Well, you're a musician yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's kind of, you know, you have a way of doing things and a way you're used to doing things, and then when you find out you've got to do it differently, it's kind of perturbing, to say the least, you know.
Yeah, and I'm a drummer. If they just had me doing the fills, I'd feel really strange, you know.
How weird would that be?
I know.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
You kind of already answered a little bit of this, but what kind of effect has this the show had on your career?
You know, first of all, I never have any regrets about anything, you know. I just kind of do it as I go along, and you know, there have been pros and cons to it. There's no point in saying there wasn't, because there was. I mean, pros are things like, you know, getting to meet, you know, the two remaining Beatles, and kind of getting to know some of my heroes, like Steve Tyler from Aerosmith, like Paul McCartney. And I mean, I was just meeting these people all the time, and it just became kind of so weird, you know, because it was just the circles I happened to be working in and moving in, and of course Ozzy as well in that. And I mean, it was a crazy experience, and of course you can pick up a phone and it makes your calls easier. To get your calls accepted, you know, and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, then there's the flip side of it too, you know, because, like, you know, Sharon was supposed to be managing my career, and a lot of time went by after it, and I was kind of freaking out. I was like, well, what's happening here? you know, like, and I kind of knew myself then. I mean, she had her own career. She had her book. She had a book coming out. She had Kelly and Jack and Ozzy and herself. And of course, you know, as much as she liked me, I wasn't an Osborne, you know.
Right.
So, you know, things then I spent a lot of time touring around, did a couple of TV shows. Like I had a couple of documentaries that I did and bits and pieces, and I did a lot of touring and playing. And then I kind of, you know, things kind of went a bit sour then. I kind of slipped into a terrible depression after that, and that went on for years, to be honest with you, because I was just so sickened by it. I ended up back in a small little town here where I live, and I couldn't handle it, to be honest with you. I just couldn't take it. The kind of coming from where I was, I had it all there in my hand, and I just felt that it had been, you know, it had been messed up, and I felt like I had no control over it, you know. That really, really affected me, like, because I just felt like, who can you talk to about something like that? You can't. It's a very, very small club. Like, not everyone's going to understand that, you know. So I had to deal with a lot of tough life lessons and a lot of lessons for the soul, you know, growth for the soul. But
well, you've got a lot of support, you know. Sorry, go ahead.
You know, sorry, but I'll tell you this much, man. You know, we come out the other end now, and like right now, I have never felt the fire so much. Like, I've had to really come through it and kind of pick myself up and dust myself off and just kind of get back out on the horse. And I'm so pumped right now to be playing again. And to be playing, you know, kind of like I've got a band together that you know, guys that I love playing with. We've written kind of, you know, I've got a great album written. I'm just ready. All I want is a plug socket and a steering wheel, and I'm away.
Nice.
And just in relation to, you know, Manic Star, the single that you released there recently, is there a particular message in it? You know, there's a couple of lines in it, say, the likes of "so frustrated with all this hanging around." Is that kind of a throwback to X Factor, or is it just...
No, that there is exactly, you know, that there was written around my frustration, which, and that man be at the time, you know?
Yeah.
It probably is actually, it is, but on kind of maybe 2 or 3 years after I'd been on X Factor, and I kind of, you know, I cut that song actually in my bedroom studio, if you believe it or not. Yeah, there are no demons, I suppose, you know.
Yeah. And what about the 3 monkeys in a spacesuit?
Actually, that was about a dream I had.
Was it? All right.
Yeah, a big philosophical meaning. That 3 monkeys in a spacesuit. It's
a cool lyric.
Idea, isn't it?
It's a cool lyric. It's not something you hear in every song, you know.
Exactly. You know, like that song, the Shades of Grey. Can't we pass the flow? That song. Hi folks, how you doing? Well, if you listen to the lyrics in those songs, they make absolutely no sense, but it just works, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Now, we're running low on time here, and you're probably running out of time too. Anything you wanted to promote really quick?
Absolutely. I'd just like to say people, my Twitter is twitter.com/TabbyOfficial. I appreciate it. Just pop up. Got a whole catalogue of we give next couple of months, and we'll be pushing it out, giving away free before I start releasing the new stuff. And also I'm on Facebook as well, which is just facebook.com/official.
Very cool.
I can give people all the information, and by I am coming stateside this year.
Very cool. Very cool. Come to Indiana.
Been to India.
What's that?
Been to India. What's it like?
It's flat. It's very boring here. Actually, you won't like it.
Well, listen, all the better for all the running around I'm going to be doing. So I can't wait. I'm already out there, and I want to say thanks to you guys as well. Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's really nice to speak.
Yep, thank you, Tabby.
Cool, Tabby.
We'll put links to your all the stuff that you just promoted up and up on the show page, and hopefully everything goes well for you, and maybe we'll get you on here again.
Listen, I'm delighted. That would be great. We'll keep in. And,
Yeah, Tabby.
I think we've lost.
And, peace be with you all and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Thanks, Tabby.
Thanks a million, Tabby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Sorry.
can now. Yeah,
Okay,
you broke
God
up a little bit. See you, Tabby.
All right, Tabby.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Right on. Bye.
All right, yeah, so we had a little bit of a connection issue there, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll post the links that he mentioned. I think some of that came through.
Yeah. Well, I have them here anyway, so I can post them up.
Yeah. He's in the club using their Wi-Fi. So
yeah,
you get what you get with that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you with some more news.
Do you like the sound of my commercials? Do you want a commercial? Do you want to play it on your show? Then head over to Mike Wagner at Fiverr.com. Get yours produced now. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Get fast, friendly, professional commercials at an affordable price. You provide the script, or we will write one for you. Tell us what special effects you need, or we can add them on for you. Check out our features to make your commercials sound great. Go to www.fiverr.com/mwagner and get your commercial done today. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Also affiliated with www.mikewagnervoiceover.com. Need a do-it-yourself witty website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitalcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitalcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design gurus.
All right, and we're back. Sorry about the connection there. We kind of lost him at the end. But, yeah, it was a good talk with him. Interesting stuff about X Factor and all that. Good find, John.
Yeah, he's actually quite a nice guy. He's quite busy around Sligo at the moment, as he was trying to explain to me the last night, that he's trying to juggle rehearsals, and he still has to put food on the table. So he's playing locally and nationally as well. So, he's a busy guy.
Very, very cool. So we still got one. We got one more WTF news stories here. We'll try and fit this in before the Indiana Talks segment of this is over, which we'll carry on after that and finish up with some Kickstarters. This one are these all you're doing, John?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can claim responsibility for these. Yeah.
This one's really interesting. Is an Irish American woman named Colleen Burns, who is she's a 41-year-old mother of 3. She was pronounced dead in Syracuse, New York. She had overdosed on Xanax, Benadryl, and it looks like an unnamed muscle relaxant in 2009 and fell into a coma at St. Joseph's.
Of course, there had to be an Irish connection.
Yeah. right. But so they mistakenly concluded that she was dead of cardiac arrest, huh?
Yeah.
And the family agreed to have her organs harvested after hearing of the death. This is crazy. It's not crazy yet, but it's getting there. Day before the surgery, a nurse noticed that Colleen was able to curl her foot when she touched it with her finger, and her findings were dismissed by whoever she gave them to. But then just before the surgery, her nostrils flared and she started breathing without the respirator. I mean, these are all. I mean, at this point, I would have been freaked out. I guess I'm not a doctor, but
yeah, but that kind of be a big sign, all right. The fact that she started breathing.
Right. He even goes on to say that her lips and tongue were even seen moving as well, and they ignored these. And right before she was about to be operated on, her eyes flew open, and she looked up at the operating table light, and she ended up making a full recovery, and then sadly. Was it 16 months later she overdosed again and died?
Yeah. But that's obviously what she was trying the first time when she took that volume of.
Yeah. The family seems pretty upset and they're trying to sue the hospital, but it looks like she got what she was going for.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm not trying to make light of it by any means, but
I think that the fact that she was in a fairly relaxed state if they thought she was dead, like. it's a strange one. I suppose maybe it's the cocktail of drugs that she took.
Maybe she maybe she wanted to go back to the coma, and maybe she was just mad somebody woke her up.
Things were easier then, I suppose.
Yeah, I bet. Jeez. Well, we're coming up at the end of our Indiana Talks hour, so for those of you listening on there, thank you. We're going to continue on here with a couple of Kickstarters and wrap up the show here. So we've got some Kickstarters. John, these yours too? Well, one of them's mine.
I think, Justin has some in here. I can't see them now, actually. There's something wrong with my screen here. The solar headphones, certainly. That one is mine.
Yeah, tell me about those.
It's running. There's 23 days left on it, and what they're looking for is €200,000 or £200,000. Sorry, and what it is, it's a set of headphones that basically recharges itself. You can plug them into your phone, and there's a panel along the top of the headphones, and you can charge your mobile phone from the headphones as well. Huh. So. It's a pretty good idea, I have to say. I'm surprised it hasn't been thought of before now, because it seems to for 7 days it has surprisingly little. It is only 16,000 pledged. I'm surprised there isn't more, because I think it's quite a good idea.
Yeah, I do too. That'd definitely be nice. I was just going to say something stupid. It'd be great if they were wireless, but I guess that wouldn't really help your the charging of the phone. But no, that's pretty cool. We'll put the link in there for that. Somebody should, one of you guys, Deb, you should contribute to that. Here's another one that I was actually going to put in the bad until I actually read it, which I should probably do more often. But it's the first pen that vibrates when you make a mistake. When I first read that, I'm thinking, well, this is kind of ridiculous. For one, it's a pen. So once you've made the mistake, you've made the mistake. And there's no going back then. So I thought as an adult, that's cool and all that. It spell checks for you. But then I read on, and it's meant more to help children learn how to spell and things like that and write, I think. I guess if you're not writing letters correctly too, I think it'll vibrate. And
I don't know if it was me, I wouldn't. It'd be vibrating the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't. I still haven't got grammar down very well, or spelling for that matter. And being on the internet for as long as I have, I've digressed. Or is that the right regress? Digressed?
I suppose both to be correct.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm only guessing. I don't know.
I think I just proved my point. But
yeah, certainly since the keyboard, I think the pen is taken a back seat in my life, anyways. Right. Unless it's to sign my name or something. I really can't get that wrong,
Yeah, right, exactly. Although to my kids, they call my signature Scribble Scrabble. Is what they call it,
well, might be quite similar.
So that doesn't look anything like your name. Well, I'm trying to explain to them that's the point.
Exactly. You can't be tied to anything if they don't know who the signature is.
Right. And I got my younger brother, however, like his signature, it's like he came up with it when he was in kindergarten. It's like how a kindergartner would have wrote cursive, and it's just funny. I can't duplicate it because I'm an adult and I can't write that way anymore. it's just
can
funny
he duplicate it?
Right. It's kind of how he writes. He was the singer in my band for a long time, and I'd look at his lyrics and they were just they weren't legible at all. It's just
it wasn't Comic Sans by any chance, was it?
It was beyond Comic Sans. But I'm sure he appreciates me saying that. But,
I'm sure he'll thank you for it.
Yeah. And then we got Zombie Musical, huh? Is this you or Justin?
Yeah, this is me. There's a theme starting here.
So yeah, let's go into this one.
This one is a really, really strange one. And strangely enough, it has 75 backers. It's a zombie musical. It's a debut feature film from Ryan McHenry, the creator of Ryan Gosling Won't Eat His Cereal. And there's quite quite an interesting little video if you watch it there. Ryan Gosling has been fed cereal at different points throughout the video. But what they're looking to do is they're looking to fund a zombie musical, and it's going to be a feature-length version of the BAFTA New Talent Award-winning short from the creator of Ryan Gosling Won't Eat His Cereal, Vine videos. But in order for us to make the feature, we need to help you. We need your help. So basically, they're looking to make a zombie musical. And what they have to this point is they have 75 backers. They're looking to raise £100,000, and there's 17 days left to go to it. And at this point, they've raised £1,239, £1,239, which I think is probably £1,239 too much.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the incentives here, and you can basically become an executive producer with £1 or more.
Oh, wow.
And director. Or no, the director will shout your name while being... Jeez. This is bad.
And in next week's episodes, our characters will receive weapons at the following targets. That's a bit of a strange one, yeah. But, I can't really see how zombies are going to be musical, because any film I ever watched, they weren't particularly musical, or even any series. So, I don't know. You get to determine the fate of the zombie musical creators and crew, and for just £1, become accredited executive producer. I think I might do it just for the £1, just to become an executive producer.
Yeah,
put it on my CV.
Yeah, put that on my resume. I'm more interested in Ryan why he won't eat his cereal.
Yes, if you watch the video, it's actually it's really strange. It's creative. I give them that much. It's creative. I've never seen anything like it before. But,
Well, that's our bad one for today. Unless, I guess zombies are the thing these days, I guess. And in America, we've had a few actual zombies.
Yeah.
The guy in Florida that ate another man's face.
Yeah, I actually seen an article on that. That guy, he's well, I won't say he's made a full recovery, but he's okay. Like he's lost both his eyes and he's lost part of his face, but he's.
How do you make a full recovery and not have your eyes in front of your face?
But like I think he was a homeless guy. I think, anyways, was he? And
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because I think they were having a job keeping him. Actually, they were having a job keeping him in the hospital. That he wanted to go again,
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of our Kickstarters and the end of our show. We seem to be. I've been watching our meters here, and we seem to have dropped out a couple of times, so it's a good time to quit anyway. But,
all right.
I want to thank John for braving it here and coming on with us. And I think you're going to come on. Justin's going to be out of town, I think, the week after next, and you're going to come on here and host with me again. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Happy to do it.
Good deal. So yeah, we'll see what we can come up with for that show, and we'll get Justin back here next week. And thank everybody for watching. Thanks Indiana Talks and Spreaker, and we'll talk to you guys next week.